Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order, please. Ms. Debbie, could you call the roll for us?
Mr. Hannigan? Here. Mr. Derman? Here. Mr. Loop?
Mr. Loop is out ill.
Mr. Harrell?
Mr. Harrell's out ill.
Mr. Nation?
Mr. Nation's out of town on business.
Mr. Jeter?
Here.
Mrs. Seeley? Mrs. Drucker?
Here.
Mr. Betancourt? Mr. Womack?
Mr. Womack and Mr. Betancourt are both ill.
Mr. Hersey?
Here.
Mrs. Mullet? Mr. Kuzan? Here. Mrs. Belisario? Here. And Mrs. Hines?
Here. Thank you very much. Would you please stand and join us in the invocation and pledge led by Mrs. Mullet?
Thank you, Mrs. Hines. Heavenly Father, as we come tonight to do your work, we ask you to guide us in the decisions that we make. We ask you to be with our students and our employees as they go off and do wonderful, hopefully fun things for their summer break. Keep them safe. And Lord, we ask you to be with all of our military. And we ask you to keep them safe and keep them close to your heart. In your name we pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Mullet, and I'd like to welcome everyone to our June 2nd Committee as a whole for Human Resources and Education. We did not have anyone requesting time on the agenda, so we'll move on to our approval of the minutes from the committee as a whole meeting held on May 12th. Do I have a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Drucker, a second by Mr. Derman. Thank you. Do we have any comments from board members? Do we have any comments from the public? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So ordered. That brings us to our next item, which is our instruction reports. The first one is on our summer programs, and we'll have Miss Amy DiCarlo come up to give that report.
Good evening, Superintendent Foltz, members of the board, and guests. I am going to be providing you with a brief overview of the summer program opportunities that are available in our district. We start off with the Academic Summer Program, and this is a program that is designed for 4th and 8th grade to improve student achievement in math and reading. Students will receive a total of 60 hours of instruction in math or in ELA. We also offer elementary summer school, and this is for grades 1 through 8 in subjects where a minimum of 12 students register. The program is provided for two purposes. One is to enable students who have failed a subject to remove the deficiency and be considered for promotion to the next grade. And two, to enable students to become stronger in a subject in which a need has been recognized. A third opportunity is the AQ Virtual Academy Summer School for grades 9 through 12, and this allows students to schedule new courses that expand their academic experiences and to enable students who have not passed a subject to remove the deficiency. There are 2 sessions that are available, and there are also 2 testing sites. In St. Tammany, we also offer the Extended School Year program, and this is for disabled students who have been determined to be eligible to receive education services in the summer to maintain skills learned during the school year. The services provided are identified through the student's individualized education program. We also offer 21st Century Learning Camps. These camps provide tutoring in reading, writing, math, science, computer literacy, as well as recreational and social activities. And also, our last opportunity within our district is a reading camp, and this is designed for students that are entering kindergarten through 5th grade. Students are identified as needing further instruction in reading, writing, listening, speaking, and speaking skills. And the goal is to boost the literacy skills while enabling students to build confidence in their reading ability. And as I said, this is a brief overview of the summer opportunities in our district. Are there
Thank you,
any
Mr.
questions?
Carlo. Let's get some questions from board members. Are there any questions? Mr. Hennigan?
Thank you, Ms. Hines. Could you give us an estimate of the number of students that will touch?
What we have enrolled in the programs that I've just showed you so far is 1,062 students.
Okay, very good.
And that does not include session 2, though, of the summer for the secondary students, because they are enrolling at this time.
Okay, all right. And do we have any busing involved with this?
We have busing definitely for the academic summer program as well as for the elementary summer school, and we also have busing for the reading camp. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Derman?
Thank you, Mr. Garland. Is there any charge for
There,
this?
the elementary summer school, there is a charge. That's why there is a minimum of 12 students, and the charge for that is $210 for a reading course. And then the secondary is $200.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
No charge for the extended summer school program
No,
or the reading camp?
no. And nor the academic summer program.
All right. Any other questions from board members? Thank you very much. We
Thank you.
appreciate that. Our schools will be busy this summer.
They are.
All right. Our next report is Can't Believe, and Dr. Sanford's going to come forward for that report.
Good evening, Mrs. Hines, board members, Superintendent Foltz. I'm here tonight to give you a brief update on Project Believe, one of our pilot alternative programs that we started in January. And that particular program employs drill instructors as well as classroom teachers. We have support services through counseling combined with our other alternative programs. So tonight we have Dr. Robinson here. He is our administrator, and as you are aware, it's located on the Project Team West location. Just to give you a brief update, we start the program with a maximum of 40 students. The students have to spend a minimum of 45 days in the program for completion, and the program is divided into 3 levels of which students earn their way to accelerate on these 3 levels. They are evaluated by attendance, academics, behavior, and compliance, as well as growth in all of these areas. And as you can see, the drill instructors ride the bus with the cadets to the campus. We have 4 pickup locations. Those are at Harrison Curriculum Center, the Louisiana State Police Troop L, the Brooks Curriculum Center, and Pearl River Police Station. 2 on the east, 2 on the west. The bell schedule is from 9 to 1:30. The classes that the students take are English, math, PE, and an elective. So let's take a look by the numbers. Project Believe. We have worked with 60 students this year. Some of those students are still in the program earning their compliance and will start the year back on that campus in the fall. Some have exited the program. So you see a breakdown before you based upon gender, race, and grade level, remembering that it is designed for 5th through 10th grade. So those are the numbers of the students in the program. And I could stand here tonight and give you all of the wonderful stories, but more than me giving you the information on the stories, I think it's very important that you hear directly from the students and the stakeholders involved in the program. So with that, we have a very short video for you.
Exercise. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Project Believe is a alternative program for children who have been recommended for expulsion from the school district. This is a paramilitary style environment where we express and we embrace the ideas of dignity,
Stop position.
integrity, respect, discipline,
I want half for let's go, Boo-Pa.
self-control, and self-management, along with confidence.
Go. Get him, Shimento. Get him, Shimento.
It is an opportunity for the school district to seek an additional way of reaching all of our children.
Good morning.
As soon as they arrive here, they run onto our parade field and they volunteer formation.
Attention.
They are the drill sergeants, inspect them.
Present. Next exercise will be the push-up. Stop position. 1, 2, 3.
After they do that 30 minutes of physical fitness, they come into the cafeteria to get a quick breakfast, about 10 to 12 minutes or so. They eat it now, they chew it later.
2 minutes. Don't say a word.
There are 4 classes each day. When they go into their classes, the drill sergeant is there with each teacher. The teacher provides blended instruction model where they open up the class, get some whole group instruction, maybe some small group instruction.
Dedication.
I've seen some of them mature and grow right before our eyes. They're becoming more focused. They're realizing lights are going off in their heads. They're realizing, hey, schoolwork is really, really important. I can be respectful. I can manage myself. I can show humility. I can show restraint.
I'm very grateful for having a second shot, and you know, if I didn't have a second shot at being at this school, then I feel like I would have been somewhere else.
Two. Attention.
He's definitely getting a grasp of a better grasp of right and wrong behavior, when it's appropriate to speak up, when it's appropriate to not speak up.
I definitely just realized that if you stop getting in trouble, life would be a lot easier for you. And I just definitely realized that having integrity is very important in life, and just working with others, and which is a lot of important skills.
I talk to them all of the time about being successful and being a respectful person, being a good citizen, showing good character and integrity at school, and at home, in the community, with your parents, with your families, everywhere. These children have really, really grown by leaps and bounds, and we have had nothing but 100% success stories thus far.
The program's made a difference. It's brought them a lot more structure. It's brought them a lot more discipline.
I'm grateful for Project Believe because it just gave me a whole new outlook on everything.
The people here, they give you confidence. Like they tell you that you can accomplish something even if you don't think you can.
Bottom line, Project Believe is awesome.
Class motto. Class motto. Believe in yourself. Believe in your hopes. Believe in your dreams. We believe in you.
Do board members have questions for Dr. Sanford? Are you finished with the main part?
I am. Or Dr. Robinson.
Why don't you introduce?
Sure, please.
Yes, Dr. Robinson, would you please come?
And before he comes up to the podium, let me just say what a great job Dr. Robinson has done. I mean, the program would not work if the proper people are not in charge. And Dr. Robinson came to us, and he came to us from another parish, but he came to us with a vision. And he was presenting to us right when we were thinking about it as well. So it had to work together, and I'm just extremely proud of him and thankful for the work that he's done. It's certainly making a difference in young people's lives, and I thank you for that very much.
Thank you, Mr. Foles, and I thank the board also for this opportunity. And I'm very, very grateful to the staff and grateful to everybody that it has been a total team effort.
Do you have one of your drill instructors here this evening?
Yes, ma'am, I do. First Sergeant Garcia.
Do we have questions from board members? Let's see. We'll start at this end. Mr. Kuzan, do you have a question?
Do you have any plans for improvement or any methods, anything that we have to do, or you feel that we can do to improve the program?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are always looking at ways of improving. We are constantly assessing and evaluating the program. I've gotten a tremendous amount of support from the superintendent, a tremendous amount of support from the central office staff and from the principals and schools as a whole. But as I've been going through my daily, constant, ongoing evaluation and assessment of the program, I just think that we can always get better. You know, you are not at a constant point. You're always either you're getting better or you are getting worse, and so I feel that we can always get better. We have shown a tremendous amount of growth and achievement with regards to academics, with regards to discipline, with regards to the overall student achievement. But I would just like to see us to improve just as we work on our processes, and one of those processes that we'd like to improve upon is our technology. And I think one of those reasons that we've had some challenges technology-wise is because of the structures of a very, very old building there, and the technology department has had a constant presence out there, giving us support and giving us help in troubleshooting issues. But because of the age of the building, we just would have to devote a lot of attention to that. So technology is going to be one of those things that we constantly keep our eyes on as we go forward.
Thank you.
Any other questions from this end? Mr. Jeter?
Thank you, Ms. Hines. Dr. Robinson, while I'm not trying to focus on the negative,
yes, sir,
but have you gotten any negative feedback from participants, from parents?
We have received, by and large, probably I would say, out of every 20 comments that we've gotten from parents, probably 19 plus of them have been positive. But there is not a perfect solution to any situation in the educational process and the educational program. And some of our one or two points that we probably need to work on, at any, is we just need to make certain that we just attend to every problem. There's there are just a myriad of situations, and each child is different. So we have to attack each child as an individual. But as far as any real heartburn or real problems from parents, thus far we're very, very fortunate that we haven't received any complaints.
Okay, now that's I like that. But do you see room for the program to grow?
Yes, sir, absolutely. I see room for the program to grow. I would like for the program to expand and grow, and I understand that from talking to administrators and talking to parents and talking to different people within the community, that they would like to see the program grow because there are additional students in the district that could benefit from going through our program.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Darman, thank you.
Thank you. Is the program a 12-month program, or is it just, during the school semesters, or do we have summer school, I guess?
No, so right now, sir, the program is August to May. And as Dr. Sanford said, we usually have the students there for periods of 80% of our students go there for 45 days. There are some instances where students go there for 90 days, but right now it's from August to May.
Okay. One of the other questions, have we had any dropouts at all?
Yes, sir. We've had 60 students there this year, and 4 students have dropped out this year. So we have like a 94% completion rate.
That's fabulous in itself. I know Mr. Jeter asked about, growing the program or increasing the number of students there. Does that mean we got to expel more kids to get more people into this?
No, sir. Right now that's the way that the children get there. But of course, we can look at, with the board and the district and with our vision, there could probably, if we could come up with a process for children to get there outside of being on expulsion. And that's one of those things, I guess, that
I was just
the leadership.
Kidding. I was just kidding
Yes,
on
sir.
that. But I mean, I can see where if we have some students that are creating difficulty in a in a regular environment,
right,
without being expelled, if we had a shorter version of maybe what you're doing now, it may give some insight to where they may be headed if they don't straighten up.
Yes, sir.
And it wouldn't be as stringent maybe or as long, but I just curious about
Yes,
that.
sir. And there's something similar to that. What Mr. Williams does and Mr. DeRoos do is that they have identified some children that are problematic, and as a sort of a deterrent, they will send the child and the parent out, and they'll take a look. I give them like a 30-minute tour, and sometimes that has helped to serve as a deterrent for some children. I've been told.
Yeah, maybe a whole week, a whole day field trip or something
Yes,
would
sir,
probably
absolutely.
be even better. But
Yes, sir.
well, I certainly appreciate your efforts, and I mean, I think it fills a void of what we had and all the programs that we had together. This really does create a better way of us handling some of our difficulties. So
Yes, sir.
we certainly appreciate your efforts.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Drucker?
Dr. Robinson, did you get any feedback from any of the teachers or the principals of the students that attended your Project Believe program?
Yes, ma'am. I got feedback from two different ways. The first way is through direct communications with the principals, and also teachers gave the principals communications, and I was in constant, had an open door policy with the principals. Some principals even found time to come out and visit the program. The second way that I got feedback is at strategic times during the year, I sent my drill sergeants out to check on the kids and to follow with them that had gone back into the schools. And the feedback was all positive, and they thought that it was meaningful and worthwhile, and they had seen growth in the children that had gone through the
So they saw
program.
a positive change,
Yes, ma'am.
and it's consistent once they return back to school?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
So they didn't slip up or slip back?
Well, I guess, they weren't perfect, but by and large, I would say we crunched the numbers every day probably. I would say 85 to 90% of them just had totally clear sailing. There were some where there had to be reminders, or it was positive if they saw one of my drill sergeants, coming back at the school to just re-remind them and retouch them on the shoulder. But by and large, overwhelmingly, that there weren't any slip-ups.
Thank you so much,
Yes, ma'am.
and thank you for your dedication to these students, because, without this Project Believe, they could be going someplace else.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
we'd rather keep them in school.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Jeter, did you have another question?
I think maybe I need to clarify something. When I say program grow, you're talking about from 9:30 to 1:30 or something like that. I'm talking about in hours, not in numbers.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
talking about in hours, not in numbers. So
Yes,
I'm not
sir.
talking about adding more students. We certainly want to keep them in the regular programs. So I hope I didn't imply that, but
No,
we're
sir.
talking about
Yes,
maybe from
Yes, sir.
a full day of school. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Okay.
Mr. Hannigan?
Yes, I agree with everyone. I think this is a wonderful program, and I do want to commend Superintendent Foles and Dr. Sanford for the vision, and Dr. Robinson for making this happen. It takes the right person with the right background and insight to make this happen, Dr. Robinson, and I'm very happy to see the way this is coming off. I know it's too early for us to get the long-term results, and I look forward to seeing good things happen over the next several years. But it looks like we're on the right track. I would recommend, if you haven't done it, is go talk to the juvenile court system and make them aware of this, because there might be some cases where, they might say, well, let's put them with Dr. Robinson. Better for the kids, I think, in the long run.
Yes, sir.
And I do like the idea of offering this, expanding it to kids that might not be expelled, but just have a lot of problems. It sounds like you're doing that, Byron, and et cetera, bringing this up. But what a wonderful program. So
Yes.
look forward to it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I do remember when we started, we talked about making sure we started small
Yes.
and growing it so it would be successful. I think that's where we are. And I also remember telling you that the intake was going to be just as important, and Byron and Kevin have done a wonderful job, and I know Dr. Robinson would say the same thing. Byron and Kevin have done a wonderful job of explaining the program to the parents. It's all voluntary, so they need to know ahead of time what their students are going to be involved in, and because of the work they've done, I think, in the groundwork that those guys have set is certainly helped. When a student goes out there, they know what's expected of them. So we certainly want to grow it, but we want to move in a way that will continue to be successful and not overwhelm ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Kuzan?
I like to inject, I think I'm correct in this. Dr. Robinson, didn't you establish the first boot camp for the state of Louisiana?
Yes, sir, I did.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments? Ms. Miller, do you have a question?
I did. I just had a comment, and I totally agree with Mr. Hennigan. And I hear wonderful things from teachers that have students that have gone through the program, and they see a really, not just a good change, but a positive change.
Yes,
And that's really what I think you guys are doing. And ladies, I'm sure it's a hard change, but it's a true positive change, and that's what we want for our kids. So I really appreciate everything that y'all are doing.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
And I thought before they left, we'd get the drill sergeant to lead us all in some push-ups and some, a little bit before they go tonight.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sanford. All right, our next item is Federal Programs Unified Application, NCLB, and IDEA, and we have Ms. Hosh for that.
Superintendent Foltz and board members, Ms. Myers and I are here tonight to present our annual consolidated application for federal programs. These are our 2016-17 budgets. And you all should have received a copy of the consolidated reports already. Title I budget focuses on improving the academic achievement of disadvantaged students by funding 23 Title I schools to support student needs, classes to support at-risk students, English language, arts, and math professional development, teacher consolidation, parent involvement activities, tutoring services, and MHP services. The Title II budget focuses on hiring, training, and retaining high-quality teachers by funding 12 class size reduction teachers, 3 early childhood instructional coaches, new teacher induction, and the teacher collaboration efforts. The Title III budget focuses on improving the LEP students' achievement and helping them attain English proficiency by funding ESL instruction and tutoring for LEP students, professional development for the ESL teachers, and professional development for the regular ed teachers that work with these ESL students. The Title III immigrant budget. This budget focuses on improving the immigrant students' achievement and helping them attain English proficiency by funding MHP services for immigrant students and providing services to support the immigrant families. Then we have the IDEA Part B budget. This budget focuses on meeting the educational needs of individuals with disabilities by funding supplemental programs and staff to facilitate academic achievement, MHP services, transition planning, career exploration and training, and staff development for special and regular education teachers. The IDEA preschool budget. This one focuses on providing educational services to preschool students with disabilities by funding special education and related services for children with disabilities ages 3 through 5, and providing instruction and materials for the preschool early intervention. And the last budget that's part of this consolidated federal program report is our ESY budget. Our extended school year program budget is used to help fund the summer educational program for eligible special education students. So these are our budgets that we are proposing for the 2016-17. So if anybody has any questions, Ms. Myers and myself are available to answer those.
All right, item D is that we ask for approval of these federal program unified application. So if I could have a motion for that, I have a motion from Ms. Mullet and a second by Mr. Derman. So now, does anyone have any questions on these budgets? Mr. Hennigan?
Yes, thank you. So I guess two questions. One, this is, some of this money goes to private schools though too? Do we administer this?
Part of the IDEA Part B budget is allotted, a proportion of it does go to servicing students enrolled in a non-public school that have a disability. And they are serviced on a service plan, not an IEP. But there is a portion of that, and that money funds the staff to do those services.
It comes through, okay. And you determine how much to give to each of these schools?
No,
or
it's
is there a formula?
determined. It's determined, predetermined.
Okay.
By the number of students that are enrolled in non-public. So
Okay.
it's a proportionate share that's determined. And
Okay.
it stays pretty steady.
Okay. And this is roughly 4% of our total operating budget, Superintendent Foltz, roughly?
Yes.
Yeah, 4%. So this is what's at risk when the federal government says they might withhold funds? Yeah. Okay.
That would be part of it, yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Is it the same share for public and non-public students? I'm sorry.
All right, Mr. Kuzan. Mr. Hennigan, were you finished?
I'm done,
All
yes.
right, Mr. Kuzan, go ahead.
The share for public and non-public students, is that equal
Equal.
percentage-wise?
The proportion is the same for a disabled students, but percentage, no. I don't know the exact percentage. It's probably about maybe a little less than 5% of the budget.
Thank you.
Mr. Ocker?
I want to ask you, on this year's budget proposal, what's the variance from last year?
We're going to start with title.
I have those numbers. They're staying pretty status quo as they were last year. There's like a slight, like 1% dip, but we usually get some of that back at the beginning of the school year when the final allocations come in. So all of them stayed basically the same as last year. I mean, I have the exact numbers, but I don't know if
And
you need
then
that.
going piggyback on what Neil had asked about non-public school, that they do not have IEP. What's the number of kids that we service that do not attend public school?
From the IDEA budget, we have about 250 students that have service plans. The majority of those students are speech-only students.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have any other questions? Mr. Derman?
Yes, I guess my question is, do we have a number of students that participate in these programs or a percentage within our public school system?
So you're asking how many students that we have with IEPs? Is that what you mean?
That are involved in this portion of the budget?
20%.
Absolutely. I can speak about the IDEA Part B. We have, from that budget, we have over 6,000 students that have IEPs.
Okay.
That, are proportionate from that IDEA budget, yes.
So 6,000 out of 38,000.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
And just to let you know, the Title I budget actually serves over 10,000 students at their schools. And the Title III budget for the LEP students this past year, we had, 839 ESL students that were served through that budget as well.
Right, thank you. And I was just trying to get a correlation between the number of students that we service through this as well as our regular ed, and then how it kind of comes together, because we're still providing other services for these same students in a different capacity within our school funding, normal funding, is kind of what I'm alluding to. So even though we're, doing a large share for this particular segment of our student population, we still are, doing a lot more for all the other kids, and these kids are included in that number as well.
All right, any other questions? All right, we have a motion and a second to accept we have one already on the floor. To accept approval of the Federal Programs Unified Application, No Child Left Behind, Individuals with Disability Education Act, 2016-17. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Oops, I forgot to ask for comments. Do we have any comments from the public? All right, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Abstain? So ordered. Thank you very much. Appreciate that report, Ms. Hosh and Ms. Meyer. All right, we're going to save our announcements from the president for the end of the next meeting, the Business Affairs meeting. So if there's no further business, I declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you all for being here.
Okay, we're going to call this meeting to order for the St. Tammany Parish School Board Committee as a whole. Meeting for June 2nd, 2016 for Business Affairs and Administrative. Roll call, please.
Mr. Derman.
Here.
Mr. Hannigan. Here. Mrs. Hines. Mr. Luke is absent. Mr. Harrell is absent. Mr. Nation. Mr. Jeter.
Here.
Mrs. Seeley.
Present.
Mrs. Strucker.
Here.
Mr. Betancourt. Mr. Womack. Mr. Hersey.
Here.
Mrs. Mollett. Mr. Kuzan. And Mrs. Belisario.
Thank you, Debbie. We're going to dispense with the invocation and the pledge as it was done in our prior meeting. There's no one requesting time on our agenda, so we're going to move to item 4, which is approval of the minutes for committee as a whole meeting held May 12th, 2016. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Okay. I think Mr. Womack maybe made the motion, and a second by Ms. Drucker. Any comments or questions from board members about the minutes? From the public? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Abstain? So ordered. Okay, item 5 is administrative. Ms. Jabbia.
Thank you, Mr. Derman. In your packet is you'll see a memo from me to Mr. Foltz explaining the process of what we did as far as our insurance, of where it was advertised, who all the information went to, and the number of companies that sent in packages and sent in quotes for those particular insurance. So we have the following recommendation tonight, that we recommend that we purchase coverage through Arthur J. Gallagher and Riverlands Insurance Services under the following. If I could just briefly go over, basically the first one is our liability coverage. That's through Arthur J. Gallagher. The property is from Riverlands Insurance Services. And our we did an alternate this year with cyber liability and data breach. We're concerned always with that, with all of the technology that we have. So this is additional coverage that we did go out for, and that's through Arthur J. Gallagher. The crime policy through Arthur J. Gallagher, boiler and machinery, and flood insurance through Riverland Insurance Services, and our workers' compensation excess coverage through Arthur J. Gallagher. I would like to also point out that this is I think the third year in a row, and we tried to give you a little bit of history on the spreadsheet, that we've had a decrease in our premiums and we're without any decrease in coverage. So we have the same coverages that we've had before, but this year we're showing a decrease of $18,744.72 in our total premium, even with our additional cyber liability and data breach, which is costing us in excess of $15,000. So really in total, we had about $30-some thousand reduction in premiums. So asking for a recommendation tonight. If there's any questions, Mr. Gaspard is here. Also to let you know that we meet, Mr. Gaspard, myself, and we've asked Mr. Derman to sit in with his expertise with insurance, and that's the committee that reviewed all of these, and we just finished that today. I was able to send you an electronic copy of all of this earlier, and a hard copy is in your packet tonight.
Okay, I would like to get a motion first. Moved by
Second.
Mr. Womack, second by Ms. Heinz. Then if we have any questions or issues that you want to address, we'll do that now. Ms. Drucker.
Mr. Jabbia, I just want to ask you, for all the insurance companies here that are listed, did we ask them to bid for every coverage that is here that we needed for the school system?
We give them everything that we have to bid on. Some of them choose not to bid on everything, and they bid for certain ones.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the public? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? So ordered. Thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Javier.
Chairman. Thank you, board members. The monthly maintenance and custodial report, of course, you know that is emailed, and that's not a hard copy there. And Mr. Singletary and his staff is here if you have any questions.
Any questions regarding the monthly maintenance and custodial report? Seeing none, Mr. Javier.
Yes, sir. Risk management report is also in your packet. Mr. Gaspard is here if you have any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Gaspar? Seeing none, Mr. Javier.
Also, our monthly transportation report is in your packet. I'm happy to report, and it's in your report, that we're well underway with the radios for the buses. We're doing, during the summer, we're doing at about 10 to 12 per day. So they're moving real well. We should be finished by the end of this month. So that's going well.
Any other questions from board members regarding transportation? Ms. Drucker.
Pete, I was wondering, when are we acquiring the buses? Aren't we having an acquisition of buses?
We did a lease purchase last year. We've gotten, I think, 15 of those have come in, Mr. Alfonso. And then we have 5 more special ed buses that are coming in. But with the budget situation, we're waiting to see if we're going to be getting any more at this time. So we've got a hold on that for right now.
And how do we allocate which bus drivers are getting those new buses?
That's I don't want to say it's arbitrary, but anybody who wants a permanent route, they're still required to buy a bus. These buses are to be used of any routes that go unfilled, where we get a temporary driver, or if we need those buses for breakdowns or that type of thing.
Okay.
So Mr. Alfonso makes those decisions as they're needed.
So hopefully the older buses are getting, I guess, left out or trying to rotate the
These
old
are not
buses out?
replacing any of our existing buses.
So it's in addition to what we have?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
thanks for the clarification.
Yes.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing none, Ms. Javier, thank you.
Thank you.
And we're going to go to item 6, which is construction. Ms. Tipton.
Thank you, Mr. Durman. I have a short construction report tonight. The contractor is on site at Pearl River High School and is working in the cafeteria to build the temporary kitchen and serving line. Work is also planned in the front parking lot of the school to install a new wet well, sewer line, and lift station. The contractor is working in the 200 wing to renovate, and the summer phase work as well at Clearwood Junior High. Contractors continue to prepare and pour foundation grade beams and slab for portions of the new classroom wing at Fontainebleau Junior High. At Chafuncta Middle and Pontchartrain Elementary Schools, the contractor has moved into the existing school's main hallways and has removed the ceiling and is starting to repaint. They are also working on exterior site work, including drainage, walkway canopies, and sidewalks. The interior work is progressing at both schools also. At Mandeville Elementary Addition, the windows are installed and the masonry is underway, and interior work is progressing quickly. The contractor has started work at Mandeville Junior to prepare for the temporary modular classrooms to be delivered. At Abney Elementary, the quarry tile kitchen floor is being installed, the temporary walkways are being removed, and the electrical and mechanical finish work is progressing. At Lyon Elementary Project, the HVAC contractor is completing installation of copper refrigerant piping, and the elevator is scheduled to be installed. At Shataima Elementary, exterior site work is being completed, and the overall project is nearing completion. At Carolyn Park Middle School, the parking lot work is underway, and the new kitchen area is progressing towards completion. The contractor for North Shore High School interior finishes renovations will move into the commons and administration areas next week as soon as the abatement in these areas is complete. The contractors for the additions to Lancaster Elementary School are working on the additional paved driveway area, and they've installed plumbing lines in the building slab area. Contractor for additions to Mayfield Elementary is nearing completion on the construction road and is starting work on moving the playground equipment and pouring a new slab in the new playground area. The contractor for the HVAC system replacement project for Covington High is literally working everywhere: hallways, business, computer labs, locker rooms, cafeteria, kitchen, and they're also removing concrete at the west entry to the school. Similar as for the contractor at Bonnie Cole Elementary HVAC project, they are also everywhere in the main building hallways to remove old chiller piping, install new ceilings and lights, and start up the new HVAC system. The contracts have been signed for the project to tie the water and sewer utilities for Boyette Junior and Little Oak Middle Schools, and a pre-construction meeting is scheduled for next week. The design team for Slidell High renovations project is reviewing the project, and they have provided some information for staff to review this week. The concrete curb and high jump area have been completed at Salmon High Track project. They are installing subsurface drainage and sod, and the track resurfacing is scheduled to start in mid-June after the concrete is cured. The project to convert a portion of the multi-purpose building adjacent to the old gym at Salmon into a carpentry shop classroom is underway. The contractor for the infrastructure to support the new modular classroom buildings at Mandeville High has poured the sidewalks, is running electrical and special systems conduits, and the building walkway canopy structure is being built. The roofing materials have been delivered, and the roofers are on site at 6th Ward Elementary, Slidell High Fieldhouse, and Brock Elementary. The roof recoating projects are underway at Montleon Junior and the Covington Maintenance Food Service area. And the work at Creekside Junior Administration Library roof is scheduled to start after the administration office closes. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Tipton. Any questions from Ms. Tipton regarding the construction from Mr. Hennigan?
Yes, I'm in a chatty mood tonight, but Ms. Tipton, I noticed Mandeville Elementary, you made good progress there with that two-story addition, but I was curious, it was built on kind of the lowest part of that plat for that school. Do we observe floodplains when we build schools? I mean, who determines those? Do we look at maps, or does the architect do that, or do we do that as a school?
Well, I guess the answer is that comes from all different directions. Yes, the architect and engineers look at that. There are requirements in the city, and yes, we are above flood elevation with that. You may notice that you can see the difference from the street level on Messina, and when you look across at the playground, you do see a big drop in elevation there, and the new addition has been built at the flood elevation requirements by FEMA and by the city of Mandeville, that as they have set them.
All right. Well, good. Well, I'm sure it'll be tested. Thanks.
Any other questions? Ms. Sealing.
Thank you for your report, and thank you for the progress at Pearl River High. The question I have is regarding planning for parking. Of course, I've had a lot of questions on that. Was it in the plans to close off the back area of the school for parking? Wasn't that going to be used for construction and so forth? That's coming from the public.
We've worked through all of that closely with the administration, and while there will be some times when we do have some areas that we have to access just to get to places that we need to work, most all of that parking will remain open. There will be some changes to the way the car line and the bus line move when the school year starts, but the administration has worked with us to establish that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Ms. Kuzan.
Do we have any information on the parking lot at Alton yet?
Well, you do know we purchased the property.
Yeah, I knew
that's all
that,
been finalized, and I have received recently, just in the last week, a proposal relative to the required surveys and wetlands delineation and worked with the Corps of Engineers and some rezoning. There's some things along those lines that we have to do next, so we're going to start talking about that internally here shortly.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing none. Ms. Tipton, thank you very much. And
Thank you.
just go ahead and take the rest of summer off. You don't have anything going on. All right, thank you. Going to go to item 7, which is business affairs. Ms. Prevost.
Thank you, Mr. Derman. The monthly purchasing report is in your packets, and Mrs. Stevens is here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions from Ms. Stevens? Seeing none. That was real easy. And we're going to go to item 8, which is end of the year review. Superintendent Foltz.
Thank you, board members. As has been our tradition through the last few years, we've always used our June meeting to take a breath and share a little bit of the great successes that we established over the school year. You know, sometimes I think we go from one thing to another and we never take the time to just stop and celebrate some of our successes. So what we tried to do once a year in this PowerPoint is to do that. And tonight we're going to take a brief look through that. We'll tell you, I just got a text from my brothers that said, keep it short. Everybody wants to get home for the basketball game. And Byron mentioned the same thing to me a minute ago. So we're going to do that, and hopefully we'll get through it in a quick manner. Since it is Thursday, I thought it was important to put a Throwback Thursday picture in there. This is 31 years ago. I finished my 31st year in the school system. 31 years ago, I started as a computer literacy teacher at Salmon High School with 15 Apple IIe computers in my classroom. So we certainly, as a system with our technology, have come a long way, and quite a few pounds later and a lot less hair later, we're still standing and happy to be part of this school system. We started this year with our theme of Be Inspired for Every Child, Every Day, and it certainly has been a year that we were able to inspire children and inspire teachers and other educators to make a difference for every child every day. We always start with our administrators conference, which we'll be doing in July. Regina and her staff have already been working very hard to prepare for next year. We have a theme already, so we're good to go with that. And it's an opportunity for all of us to come together 2.5 days just to regroup and fire ourselves up and share speakers, and certainly you'll be invited again as you have in the past, and just to realize the important role that we all play. And everyone says it's a really good opportunity to come together and do that. And as you know, we do that at the Treen Tech Center, so we'll be excited to get that going before we know it. Started the year off tremendously when Kelly Stomps was named Teacher of the Year for the entire state of Louisiana. Not elementary only, not junior high only, not high school only, but overall. Teacher of the Year for the entire state of Louisiana. And I can tell you she has done a wonderful, wonderful job representing our school system in so many different ways. And I'm extremely proud of her and what she's accomplished and how she's represented our school system. And I know even though her time is over as Teacher of the Year, we're going to be able to use her experiences that she's had over the past year, and it will certainly be a benefit to our school system for many years to come. We always start our school year with a tour, and I actually walked into this classroom at Abita Middle School, and that young lady was a student of mine at Salmon High School, and I had not seen her since high school, since I taught her in high school, and she's teaching at Abita. And we made the stop on 3 different schools. We always try to pick a new principal, an experienced principal, and just stop in and share with the administration and thank them for their work. You know, I saw somebody the other day and they said that they would like to have my job because they knew we had our summers off. And I think, you know, sometimes, and he was serious. People don't realize that, you know, we just don't lock the doors and 2 months later unlock them and start back again. Lots of work about that, as evidenced by the job fair that we have going on now in preparation, as you heard from Cameron and others, as we go along. And then always at the very start of the school year, we do our PTA Leadership Academy, where we go and visit with the PTA members. Our school system continues to be a leader in the PTA, not only in the local level, but the state level and the national level as well. Certainly Ms. Seeley and others have been involved in that, and we'll continue to grow that through our school system and the partnerships that we have. As you've heard me say before, St. Tammany Parish makes up over 50% of the entire population of the state PTA comes from St. Tammany Parish. So we're certainly excited about that and look forward to that. As you remember, in August, it was a very moving and emotional time for all of us as we honored and recognized our 10-year remembrance of Katrina. You know, many of us were involved in that process and that cleanup and all the work that went along with that. And we hosted at Salmon High School a beautiful $55–60 million facility that was built after Hurricane Katrina. We hosted the 10-year remembrance. You know, Byron being an administrator at the school, Byron being the person that opened the school back up with the modulars. So it was a very moving time for many of us that were there. City played a great part in that program. The parish was part of it. It was really like the official program for the St. Tammany Parish came from our school system. Our students participated, and to this day, many people have told me, you know, what a moving it was. We showed the 10-year video, and then we showed how far we've come. And even though it was a terrible time in this parish, we certainly rose above it, and I really believe we're a better school system for what we experienced after Hurricane Katrina. As we do our 4 fundraisers each year. We've identified our 4 for next year, and we'll be announcing those. Peggy certainly does a great job with that, with the committee on that. And our first one of this year was the Go Pink for Stark and Marybury Perkins, and you can see the numbers, $25,000, $26,000 for that first fundraiser. And it's certainly an opportunity for us to share with our community, our parents, our faculty and staff, the role that we play in this community, not only as educating the students, but also to give back and to be a community leader. And I think these 4 fundraisers that we've established 3 or 4 or 5 years ago have certainly sent a message to our community that we want to be a part of every aspect of St. Tammany Parish. Our parish fair, Meredith and her group do a great job setting the theme, and we have great participation on that. And you can see these are the booths that were set up and the work that goes in that and the importance of the fair to this community, and something that we always want to continue to honor in St. Tammany Parish. And then something we started 4 or 5 years ago. It's just one of the best days of the school year where we bring in every teacher of the year, no administrators, no supervisors, just a little bit of central office staff, school board members, and each teacher of the year. They get a little goodie bag. We take their picture with them. They take a group picture. They get to eat an hour lunch like normal people do, not in a classroom or not having to go serve duty. And we have a PowerPoint slide of each one of them. It talks about them a little bit. And the feedback I get from this is tremendous. And it just shows at a very little cost how important it is to stop. Everyone likes a pat on the back. Everyone likes to be told they're doing a good job. And we ask these schools to honor and recognize these teachers of the year throughout the year. And so we bring them in one day and just say thank you for the job that you do. Thank you for making a difference in students. And it's been something that's been so very well received, and we'll certainly continue to do that. Then we had our district teacher and principal of the year reception here at the school board office, and we took this group picture right out front. Amazing group of teachers and principals that certainly represent all of our teachers and administrators in such a positive way. Then Mr. Hersey was honored and sworn in. He and his whole group, they took up the whole front section here in front of the podium, and they were there to support Mr. Hersey, and certainly happy to have Mr. Hersey as a board member, and that was an important part of this school year as well. And then someone that we all miss tremendously, and many days things come across my desk and I can hear Mr. Ray Alford's voice in the back of my head on what we should do and the things we should do. And I hear his questions about, is it the right thing for kids? I hear his question about class size. I hear his question about minority hiring. So even though Mr. Ray is gone, I can tell you he's still an important part of the school system. Dorable, Ron Randolph, all of them have done a great job to make sure we honor that. We had a great program. His wife was there. Mr. Anthony, as you can see, was there. We had Shalon made a great little speech. And it was a great time to welcome our minority educators, but also to continue to make sure that Ray Alford's vision and voice in this school system is heard, and something we certainly are all pledged to continue. Veterans Day all across our parish is always an important time. At each and every one of our schools, we got to attend many of those ceremonies, and it's another opportunity to reach out to our community, honor our veterans, but also remind our students the important role that veterans play in our school system and our community. Read for the record, getting into the schools is certainly an important time and a fun time for me to get into the schools and get to the students and remember that it is the most important thing. You know, sometimes we get caught up here in this office with all other stuff that goes with the job, but when you get into the schools and you realize that you're making an impact and you're having a difference and kids are having fun and they're learning, it certainly refreshes you and fires you up and makes you want to continue to do more. And so it's always fun to do that. Something we did this year for the first time, and it was a huge, huge success, was we honored and recognized our local law enforcement agencies. We had all the heads of each of the agencies come to a principals meeting. We gave them a plaque. We took a picture with them. They got a tremendous standing ovation from our administrators and great feedback from all of them. You know, I get to meet with other superintendents across the state all the time, and I share with them the relationship I have with law enforcement. And I can tell you it's not like that everywhere. When I tell them that I can text them or I can call them in the middle of the night or they're communicating with us with what's going on and we share with them, it's not like that everywhere. So I know we built that relationship, and I know this presentation to just stop and honor them and thank them was certainly appreciated and certainly helps us to honor and recognize the work that they do in St. Tammany Parish, and it is certainly part of what makes us successful as a quality of life to have a law enforcement relationship that we do in our school system. This is definitely, my wife can attest that this is a staged picture here of me planning anything, but we staged this real quick, and this was at planning day at Madisonville Elementary, and we got to see some students and we got to do some work there as they continue to go about beautifying their campus like we do at all the campuses across the thing. And we did this. It was our first ever event at Covington High School, working special needs students with regular ed students. I love the picture up in the top left. This was during the Pledge of Allegiance, where one of the students from Mandeville High was holding the hand of one of the special needs students, and she's got holding a student in one hand and her hand across the heart in the other as she's in her wheelchair. And I think it really just represents what we're about as a school system, that to be able to make a difference in each other's lives and students buying into that, students buying into the every child every day, and us modeling it as adults, and then students taking that to the next level. And I think that's what you saw here, certainly what you saw at those games. Then we had our Christmas celebrations. I hate Mr. Charles isn't here, but he served as Santa Claus and took some pictures with the students. And here in our central office, we always have a great time at Christmas with students coming into the atrium and singing, and us stopping and pausing and recognizing a little bit all the blessings that we do have as members of our school system. With the help of Mrs. Hennigan, who's pictured in the corner there of that picture, she helped put us together our well spots. Peggy Sharp was involved as well, and all of our schools are designated as well spots. We put the picture up, we put the plaque up, and we'll continue to grow that and make sure that these schools do indeed stay well spots that represent what we're trying to accomplish for the health and well-being of all of our employees. Second fundraiser was Black and Gold Day. We continue to contribute to the museum and everything that goes with that. We raised over $19,000, and we presented that checks to the Children's Museum. As you remember, Leslie Morton's on that board, and I think pretty soon something's going to be coming out of the ground over there off of Coop Drive, and it will certainly be important and needed to build on this. And I think this will be one of the lasting things that we can do to get this museum up and going in St. Tammany Parish. Our Students of the Year were presented. All three of them are great kids and represent our school system in a positive way. And actually, Matthew Larson was chosen as a finalist for the Louisiana Student of the Year. And you can see this picture was taken in Baton Rouge outside of the State Library, where he was honored with his mom and dad and his sister. Ms. Kuchera was there as well, and he has done a great job representing our school system as a finalist for the State Student of the Year. And then a few years ago, we started, instead of going to Selectee, we brought Selectee to us. Regina's been very heavily involved in that, and we get to share with other school systems across the region and other states of what we're doing in St. Tammany Parish. And We always give a little keynote introduction of what we have going on, and then we certainly learn from others as well. But it's been an important partnership for us, and it's been important with all these economic times. Instead of us going somewhere else, we're able to stay here and get the benefits and train more people who then go out and train others within our school system. You saw the video on Project Believe. I can't top that. I mean, it was amazing. I mentioned a minute ago what Dr. Robinson means to the system. Byron and Kevin, C and I, everyone working together. But I really, really believe, and we all know it, we needed this program so bad. And just to see those results, I'm so excited that after first 1 year, we made that impact. Just imagine what we can do as we grow the program and continue to go along. But it's all about the people in the right place at the right time, and that's what we have, and that's why this program is extremely successful. Parish President Pat Brister, as well as Mr. Gene Balisero and all the other council people, were inaugurated. And what was really special about this day was at the courthouse, each and every kid that performed at that inauguration was a public school student. The girl that did the singing, the choir that sang, the band that performed, another student did a reading. Each and every one of them, we played a vital, vital role in that inauguration. And I was certainly proud of that and value my relationship with Pat Brister and the parish and the work that we're able to do together. And I think it was evidence in our participation in that inauguration ceremony. Celebrate Black History Month by many different students being involved in many projects, people across the state coming in and sharing their experiences and their life stories, and students being involved in that and absorbed by what have going on there. And this is some of the pictures are part of that to make sure that we stop and honor that and the history that goes along with Black History Month. Ms. Seeley was able to present the LSBA award winners. We had the video winner. We had art winners as well. I think we're this back-to-back winners in the video contest. So we received a check from LSBA from that. And those videos were shown at the state capitol again this year, both in the House Education Chambers as well as in the Senate Chambers. So it's an opportunity for us to showcase St. Tammany and all the things that we have going on. And the theme is the value of a good, strong public education, and we're able to do that through those videos. Another opportunity to get into the schools and read, as Abney Elementary School hosted Read Across Abney. Really excited about this. Mr. Hennigan helped us put this tour together, the Shell Training Center, and we also started Maritime Mondays in partnership with the North Shore Technical College. Just another great opportunity to involve our community. These are different people, Regina will tell you, these are different people that have ever been at the table with us. We've never been able to get at the table with these people, but through Maritime Mondays, through the Shell, through the different services that go along with the gas and oil industry, we're now able to show what we're doing in St. Tammany Parish. But more importantly, we're able to give our students an opportunity when they finish high school to go into different careers that are available to them in St. Tammany Parish. I mean, I'm born and raised a native of St. Tammany Parish. I had no idea all the opportunities that were of value to students and available to students in the oil and gas industry. So I think this program is going to allow us to share that with our students. And also, importantly, I've learned to share with the parents. These meetings, the students come, but the parents come as well. And they are then able to go home and have that discussion with their students about the opportunities. So I'm really excited about this, and this is something that I know we can really, really grow to make a difference for our students and just give them more choices. Ms. Mullet was with us there as well, Mr. Derman. We all had the hard hats on, and we got the tour of the Shell Center, and it was pretty impressive. Our next fundraiser was the Royal Family Kids fundraiser. We raised close to $23,000. Remember Mr. John Wonder Jim, he's a teacher in our school system. He has this camp each summer for foster children, and it's just amazing. And he's an amazing guy. You've met him up here. He was a Teacher of the Year one year. We presented this to them as well. You remember he's adopted the 7 foster children himself, and then he hosts this camp every summer where these kids are treated like royalty for summer and given the opportunity to have a vacation and to feel like they have a place to go and that they're treated that way special. So I'm proud of him. I'm proud of what he represents for our school system, and I was super happy that we raised $23,000 for his organization. We certainly had our challenges through the year. Whenever you have a whole school year and you have as many students and employees that we do, the challenges are there for us, and this flooding was certainly one of them. The very, very sad situation that happened at Mandeville High School was certainly another challenge for our school system. But in these challenges, and I got to mention this, we had a meeting with U.S. Senator Cassidy yesterday, and we were meeting on mental health and mental health issues, and he asked me to share our experiences at Mandeville High, and I think the biggest thing that came out of all this was the rallying of our community. I mean, everyone came together for our school system and wanted to be a part of a solution so that we can do as much as we can to get the word out again, not only to our students but our parents. So I think whenever we have challenges, whether it be one such as this or whether it be other ones that we've dealt with across the school year and at the different schools, that it's important that we learn from it, that we grow from it, that we say when we can do better, and that we make sure we do that and we offer and accept input from others as we go along. We continue to have our district fitness meet. We honor those each and every year, and they go on to state at LSU, and Peggy keeps on assuring me that we're going to win a state championship one year, so I'm holding out for that, and the pressure's on her to get that for us one year as well. We honored our teachers of our sport employees, our sub of the year, and as well as the students of the year. If you remember, we did that in Slidell, and it's just an opportunity to bring them before you and to have them receive some recognition for the work that they did. No better 2 days in the school system than the 2 days that we host the junior high school and the high school Special Olympics. And every year I tell you guys, if you haven't been, please come. And it's just an opportunity to see all students from all schools working together for a common goal of just having fun, enjoying yourself, and realizing that it's important to compete, but it's also important just to get along and to help each other. And I love this picture of the student walking with the other student with the torch and just being there to support them. One a Mandeville High student and the other one a junior high student. I think it just sums up of how working together we can accomplish anything. So these Special Olympic things, there's not a time that I don't go there and just feel great about what we're doing and the difference we're making. And it is every child every day when you go to these ceremonies, and I would encourage you to do that. I was asked to speak at the Stark Breakfast to kind of talk a little bit about what Stark does for our school system and how our school system is part of working to make sure that all citizens in our St. Tammany Parish are honored and recognized for their work. And we use Stark in many different ways. And if you know Diane Baham and the role she's played in Slidell and St. Tammany Parish for her entire life, to be a part of her program and recognition was certainly something that I enjoyed and looked forward to, and was glad to share our story of our school system with an auditorium full of people at the Castine Center. Continue to work on our relationships with the two chambers. We have booths at the East Chamber. As you know, I sit on the board of directors of both the East and West Chamber. I think I'm the only person that does both boards, so it's been important to us. And we actually got an editorial article written in the paper from the West Chamber about our school system, very complimentary of what we're doing and the work that we're doing. I think some of you that have been around a while can share the stories of how far we've come with the chambers and the work that we've done with them and the work that we've done with the North Shore Business Council. And I know that's really, really important to our school system, and I know it takes a lot of my time and it's a commitment to be there, but I am 100% positive that that work is well worth it, because it allows us to share with people outside of our school system what we have going on, to share with them our experiences, to share with them our challenges, but also to let them know the great successes and the role that a good, strong public school system can play in the success of a community. And I really, truly believe they get that and they understand that. Teacher Appreciation Week, we had a theme this year of #TeachersInspire, and we went across the parish taking pictures of different people and asking them to help us share and appreciate our teachers and recognize teachers for the great job that they do. Kelly Stomps, as I mentioned, she was across the whole country She was at a Saints game. She was at a LSU football game. And if you recall in her story, she was a member of the LSU band when she was a student at LSU. So she said to walk back on that field that she had been on as a student performing in the band and to be honored as the Teacher of the Year for the entire state of Louisiana was just amazing. She got to meet the president a couple weeks ago, and she got to go to LSU baseball game. She actually threw out the first pitch at the LSU baseball game. So she's had a great year, and she's a great representative of our school system. I'm excited what the future holds with her and the work she's done on our behalf. And if you watch any of the CHOP show just lately, Mandeville Middle's Emily won CHOP Junior. What was amazing to me is that show was filmed like 6 or 7 months ago. And she knew 6 or 7 months ago that she had won. But she couldn't tell anybody. Because I said, did you really tell anybody? Because I thought Mary Hart might know. But no, they didn't tell anybody. So till the show was on TV, no one in here knew that she had won. So then they honored her at the school. You can see Mayor Villery was in the picture. Mary Hart gave her some flowers, and that show continues to run, and I know it's run a couple other times before. So it was just a good way to get our school system out across the country in a real positive manner. You remember not too long ago we had each school come up and submit one person to be recognized as their Volunteer of the Year. And volunteers are extremely important to this school system, and we couldn't do it without them. And great feedback from that. We took this picture. I'll send this picture to every one of these people with a short little note thanking them, and the feedback will be great. And just another opportunity, as we talked about, doesn't cost anything, just to say thank you and to honor them for the work they do in our school system and the difference that they make. And then our week of graduations, 8 graduations in 8 days. I mean, everybody says it's got to be unbelievably hard week, but it's the best week of the school year. And this year, I really honestly believe, as a whole, this was our best graduations ever. The students were so amazing. They were so well behaved. They were so respectful. They were just so appreciative of everything we did. You know, we give the pin. We do the different things to honor them, but they did a great job of honoring and recognizing our school system, and certainly made us proud for doing that. And as you know, for the first time ever this year, we did live video streaming of our high school graduations. And we used through the sound system at Southeastern as well as the Harbor Center. The sound was amazing. Channel 13, their cameras, we had angles coming from everywhere, was amazing. The quality of the graduations, and we got over 2,600 views for the first time ever. And we certainly publicized, and we believe that it will continue to grow each and every year. I received some really, really nice communications from people that couldn't come. I heard from many military people that wrote me and said couldn't come home but got to watch it. Heard from elderly grandparents, aunts and uncles that couldn't travel but got to watch it. And we've been showing it as a recording, but there's something about watching it live that's different. And we were able to show it live. We did have a 60-second delay just in case, but there was no need to delay anything. The kids were awesome. And I know this is something that we could continue to grow, but I thought for the first year to have it live on YouTube and to get that many views was really, really an accomplishment. And I know that we can make it even bigger and better next year. As a follow-up, for the first time ever, I actually wrote a letter to the editor as well as to the entire St. Tammany Parish community, the chambers, the business councils, the newspapers, the media, the social media, just sharing the shaking of the 2,300 hands, sharing our accomplishments of our students, talking about their career in the military, their career in the workforce, or going to college, and how they're going across this whole country representing our school system. So this letter that we wrote was carried by many of the news media as well as social media. I know both chambers did it as an email blast. The North Shore Business Council put it out as an email blast. So it was just another opportunity to share with our community the successes of our graduates and what they mean and how they will continue to be contributing members of society, not only in St. Tammany Parish and Louisiana, but across the United States and the world. We did our next fundraiser where we did Hope House, and Boys and Girls Club, organizations that are extremely important to our school system and to our community. Just last month, we recognized our 2 superintendent's character awards, a student from St. Tammany Junior High and then the teacher from Pontchartrain Elementary, and both of them were very well deserving recipients of these awards. And just another opportunity to say thank you, and thank you for representing our school system in such a positive way. We talk about this all the time, our National Merit Finalists. I mean, what an amazing group of students in a traditional public school setting. And what they did and what they've accomplished is amazing, and certainly their names and their achievements have grown across the country, and we're proud of them, and we're proud of the schools that they represent, and I know that they will be successes wherever they go. Our Teacher of the Year for this year and coming up are just named. We have our elementary, junior high, and high school Teachers of the Year, as well as our 3 Principals of the Year for next year. And you can see we have Ms. LeBlanc from the elementary, Ms. Hart from the middle, and Mr. Jabier from the high school division. And happy to say that Frankie Jabier was chosen as a semifinalist for Principal of the Year for the entire state of Louisiana. So we're proud of him and his accomplishments and the job that he has done in North Shore High School. I can tell you the students love him, the faculty, staff, the parents love him as well. So he is a great representative of our 55 principals and the work that they do in their schools each and every day. And I was meeting with the principals at Job Fair yesterday, and I told them again, and I honestly believe this, that their job, there are not tougher jobs around than being a principal in today's time and the experiences and challenges that go with that. So I'm proud of him, and I'm proud of what he represents, and he is a product of our school system. Light bulbs, good things that are continuing to go in our school system. We remain an A school district, #1 in the state in school performance score and school systems over 25,000. Mr. Hennigan and I talk about this all the time, and I've told you before, our ACT scores are above the national average and #1 in the state. And I've told you this before, when I go to a Kiwanis, Rotary, Lions Club, wherever I go, the #1 thing that resonates with parents and community members more than anything else is our ACT scores. So it's important to us. Regina and I have had many conversations how it's important that we continue to work on that and give the opportunities for our students to do that. Our community connections continue to grow as evidenced by the things I shared, as well as the connection that we're hoping to make with our students and our employees. Just a little social media stats. Over 14,000 likes on Facebook. I think Meredith and I talked about this. I bring your attention to the Twitter. Look on the bottom there. 1.1 million tweet views in the past year. So over 1 million views of our Twitter account took place over this past school year. So as much as we don't like social media and we know there's a lot of bad stuff about it, I think it is important that it's out there for us, and we'll continue to use it in ways which are positive to us, and these stats will help us as we move forward to where we should focus our time and energy and efforts. And I certainly can show you by that Twitter feeds that people are reading that, and it's short and it's concise and it's making a difference. Our views on YouTube continue to grow. Our downloads on our mobile app increased over 60% over the past year. As you remember, we Periscope for the first time ever this year, some live events in addition to the graduation. So we'll continue to grow our social media, and we need to be on the cutting edge of technology. If we're going to be a school system that continues to lead the state, we must continue to lead it in technology, and I certainly believe that we're doing that. These numbers are staggering when you just stop for a second and look at it. As a school system, when you realize that we service the needs of over 39,000 students, over 1,100 square miles, and that we have over 9,000 special ed students in St. Tammany Parish Public School System. Each of you have heard it before. People move to St. Tammany Parish to be a part of our special education department. So it's important that we continue to service those needs, as well as make sure that we continue to service the needs of our regular education students as well. So those numbers are important to us. We continue to grow. We grew about 250, 300 students from a year ago, and that's a good steady growth. I can assure you that there's not many school systems that are growing at this time, and for us to continue to grow, I think says a lot about our school system and what we're providing. We raised over $84,000 for these organizations that you saw the pictures. For the Children's Museum, we went over $100,000 this year in total, and we have increased our STAR partnership with businesses to over 300 businesses now are STAR members, which gives a benefit to the business as well as to our employees. We have over 1,700 PTA members, and we continue to make sure that all these things work together for the community connections. As far as our graduates, we had over 2,300 graduates, over 12,000 dual enrollment credits. When students left our high schools, they had over 12,000 dual enrollment credits. Industry certification of over 1,300 students, and over $74 million in scholarships were offered to students in the St. Anne Parish Public School System. As you've heard me say many times, our school system is about more than just a letter grade or a test score. Certainly important, and as competitive as we all are, we want to be at the top. But at the end of the day, I just know how important it is that our school system is judged more than by a letter grade or a test score. We should never, ever, no matter what anybody tells us in other places, we should never, ever allow a student to be identified by only his test score or his letter grade. Thanks to so many different people to make sure that this all happens. The school system works together, and first and foremost, to each of you for your work and your leadership to make sure that this school system functions the way it does with the respect that we have across the state and across the country. As I mentioned earlier about law enforcement, I go to superintendent meetings all the time, and I can tell you every superintendent does not enjoy the relationship with the board that we have here and the relationship that we have with each other and the mutual respect that goes to us, and I thank each and every one of you for that. You set the tone for these meetings, for everything that we do, and without you, we would not be able to do what we do as a school system. To the central office team that works here, this is our Christmas present. It's the best group around. I would not trade them for anybody, anywhere. Everyone in this building knows that even though they're not in a school setting, that they are just as important as anybody that is working in a school, and they have the opportunity to make a difference each and every day. And I certainly thank them for their efforts over the last year. To our administrators, you saw the picture that we put at the beginning of the year, and this group of people works extremely hard. They're at job fair right now, already cranking it up for next year. So I thank them so much for their efforts in making sure that we were able to reach our goal to be inspired for every child every day this past year, and it's certainly something that we should be proud of. And last and certainly not least, my family, for the work. Each of you that sit here and work for this school system know that your family sacrifices tremendously if you're in this job, and this job is certainly a 24/7 job. It's funny, we put this together a couple days ago, and we had to redo this family slide because 2 days ago, my daughter got engaged, and so the guy on the left is who she was engaged to, so we had to throw him in the picture so we wouldn't, we want to get off on a good start, you know, so we did that, and I'm certainly happy to have my wife, Patty, here with me tonight. I thank her, and my stepsons, Jack and David, I thank them for everything that they do to support me. I appreciate it very much. So I think that just shows you briefly, Byron, I'm sorry, it's probably about halftime, but we're good. All right, you record. But I think it gives you a brief overview of the successes we've had this year, as well as the challenges that we have. But I certainly thank each of you. I know that working in the school system is something that I wanted to do my whole life, and this is a dream to be here and to lead this system and have the people that are in this room working with us side by side to make it happen for every child every day. So I thank you for that and look forward to the summer, and we will be cranking it up and doing it all over again before we know it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Folt. Yeah, we're going to give you one. Thank you, Mr. Foles. We certainly appreciate everything that you do for us in the school system. It's quite an endless job, and I noticed all the great things that you showed, you know, through the year that are all the pleasantries. Some of them aren't so pleasant, but you address them as positive as you do the good things. So You and your staff, so great job. Any other board members got any comments real quickly? Ms. Heinz?
I just want to thank everybody. I know it's a real team effort, and Mr. Foltz was very thorough with this presentation, but I know how hard you all work, and thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, each year it seems like the theme gets better and better. Do we have next year's theme yet?
We do, but we're not telling.
Oh. Okay, we'll be patient. Thank you.
All right, we're going to go to Ms. Mullet for announcements from the president, Viva the vice president.
Thank you. Okay, announcements from Jack, Mr. Loop. Regular board meeting will be held on Thursday, June 9th at 7 p.m., and a special board meeting will be held in executive session following the regular board meeting on June 9th for the purpose of the superintendent's performance review. And I wanted to just say, check your packets because we had an update on all the dates of the meetings for the next 3 months, and it is revised, so do check that. And that's all.
Thank you, Ms. Mullet. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank y'all.